golden hour. I figured I'd try to get this done before I run out of light. And I entitled this little witty video, Antioxidants Explained Why Your Grandmother's Smarter Than You, or was smarter than you. I was just trying to come up with something funny that might get people to click on the link and watch the video. However, I do want to just explain antioxidants, like why fruits and vegetables are better for you than, why are they better for you? Why are they better for you than a steak? Why are they the best things that you can eat? Like, how do antioxidants work? You know, what's the point? Like, everybody knows that broccoli's better for you than frickin', T-bone. But, like, why? Like, why is that the case? So, I just want to quickly explain how oxidation works and then how antioxidants overcome that. And then I want to go a little bit into the best sources of antioxidants, the best foods that you can eat to get the most bang for your buck. And I'll wrap up with, I had something. Yeah, some easy rules how you can pick, like, and know what's better for you, like which vegetables, which herbs, which fruits are the best for you. It's an easy, simple couple rules. So, first off, everybody knows that, fruits and vegetables are good for you, especially your grandma used to nag you about finishing your vegetables and finishing your plate. Eat your vegetables. Don't forget to eat your vegetables. And the crazy thing now is that the average American who is grossly, I would say every American's grossly obese. I don't remember what the statistics are, but it's overwhelming. Like, it is overwhelming. But even as heavy as America is, still only 22% of people meet the recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals. 22%. That's like, so we're overfed, which I've said 100 times. We're overfed calories wise. We've got too many macronutrients, protein, fats, carbohydrates, but no micronutrients. We're completely deficient in most of our micronutrients. And that's just the recommended daily allowance. That's not going into like a healthy, they're good for you. More is better for you. When they're packaged in a plant form, more is better for you. More is better for you. I don't know. I don't think you can overeat blueberries. Other than if you eat too many carrots, you'll turn orange. There's no really like downside. So vitamins are a different story. You could really overdo it on some vitamins, but oxidation is happening all the time. It's happening in your body. It's happening in nature. It's happening when you look at metal rust. That's oxidation. Oxygen, which is the most volatile thing in our body, is reacting with metal. So what it is oxygen borrows an electron from other atoms inside the metal, and what happens is that starts to alter the structure, and then it starts to break down, causes rust, or like that oxidative surface that you see on metal as it starts to break down, and over time it dwindles to nothing. Same thing with dying animals. Oxygen reacts with the cells and takes electrons, and then those cells take electrons from whatever is around it. So for instance, if you have a free radical, is what they're called, it's a free radical in your body, and it happens to be near your kidney, it'll actually damage the cells of your kidney. And it happens, it's, I don't know, even hundreds of thousands of times a second. And your body is genius at repairing those mechanisms. But that's what happens if you cut an apple open and you get that brown surface. That's all that is oxygen reacting with the molecules of the apple and taking electrons and breaking it down slowly but surely into mush or nothing. So the same thing happens in your body, and the faster it happens in your body, the faster you age. The faster it happens in your body, the more your systems break down. Cigarettes, granted, all the chemicals that are in them are oxidative free radicals. That's what happens, is they break down your body. They go in, they do all this damage to your lung tissue. Why? That's it. On a very simple level, they just keep borrowing electrons, and then those go and borrow an electron for something else and screw it up. Now, on a very deep level, if it borrows an electron and really screws it up, it can alter the actual DNA of a cell. And when it alters the DNA of the cell, if it does it just right, and that cell duplicates, that's cancer. That's all cancer is that process, pretty much. Now, I have some very, very smart friends that will be able to talk over my head on this subject. So I just want to say, for my own disclaimer, that everything that I say should be taken with a grain of salt. Do your own research, but on a grand scheme of things, regardless of whether I get a couple things wrong on the minuscule level, it's still good for you. So it don't matter. Like, call a spade. You know, I may screw up words but on the grand scheme of things, fruits and vegetables aren't going to hurt you, man. So, take it with a grain of salt. Even more so, there's inside the DNA, at the end of the DNA strands, are these things called telomerase. And basically, anytime that a cell duplicates, a piece of that telomerase breaks off. And eventually, when that telomerase gets really, really, really short, that cell will stop reproducing and then die completely. So I think some of you have heard that your body, you don't have the same body that you did, even 10 years ago. Like, your body rebuilds itself on an hour by hour basis. So your body is complete reconstruction of what it once was. Some cells, I think it's brain cells. There's certain cells that don't regrow, I guess, or duplicate. But for the most part, your body is a complete new structure than it was even 10 years ago. I mean, you grew a new body. That's incredible. So antioxidants, when you look at the damage that just everyday living does to your body, even if you go out and do something positive like exercise, you stir up free radicals in your body, you breathe in more oxygen, which in turn starts to damage the body. So your body has its own antioxidants, but what I want to talk about really is the antioxidants that you put in your mouth. So on average, we get, I would say that 98% of the antioxidants that you take in are through fruits and vegetables, even if they have been massacred down to powder. Actually, I can't say that, because most of the food that you buy in the grocery store is so devoid of nutrition that they've actually had to add. So, for instance, orange juice. This is crazy. So they take the oranges and they make juice out of them, and then they dehydrate it, and they take the powder, and or if it's just whole orange juice, they pasteurize it, they heat it up to 220 degrees for 2 minutes, kills all the enzymes and all the good stuff in the damn, and which is good because then bacteria can't grow. That's the whole point of it, right? But it's so devoid of nutrition, they actually have to add back in. They add vitamin C back into the orange juice. It's like, it's madness. Like, it's crazy. So the majority of our antioxidant potential is in our fruits and vegetables. And a lot of people say, well, why can't you just take, vitamins and minerals? Well, inside the package, I call it the clothing or the jacket of the fruits and vegetables, is all these things that work synergistically. So vitamins and minerals work synergistically with each other. For instance, vitamin C works with iron. So if you take in vitamin C and iron at the same time, you have like I think it's like a 200% better absorption rate of iron. And these vitamins and minerals all work synergistically. Well, nature made it perfect for you, and what we do is we go in and we take this out, and then we take 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and then this, and then that, and then they just don't work synergistically like that. So it's better in a form like fruits and vegetables. Now, here's the kicker. Inside an apple, say an apple, vitamin C in an apple, or the actual vitamins in the apple itself, the antioxidant potential of the apple, that vitamins is only 2% of that. The rest of that whole antioxidant powerhouse inside an apple has nothing to do with the vitamins. It's this stuff, and for lack of a better term, they've categorized them as phenols, bioflavonoids, and then phytochemicals for vegetables. And that's just a blanket term because there's thousands and thousands of these things that have these miraculous effects on the body, just like vitamin C does. Vitamin C does all these amazing things for the body. It rebuilds collagen, it's an antioxidant. I mean, it's fantastic. So all of these things, all of these phenols, bioflavonoids, and phytonutrients have these amazing effects on the body. So it's not just you got some vitamin C and vitamin A, which is fantastic on its own. It's all these other things inside the plant that is really just hammered home. So, I mean, just think about that for a second, because when you talk about a powerhouse, and I'm going to go back into, you know, oranges, apples, and bananas are by far better than, you know, eating Cocoa Puffs. But as far as fruits and vegetables go, they're not even on the spectrum with blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. So your potential antioxidant potential in a fruit, vegetable, or plant in dark leafy green vegetables blows the lid off of that men's one a day that you took this morning from Walmart. I mean, they're not even in the same category. So we're comparing apples to oranges. Like, that was dumb. So, but anyway, so that being said, what are the best sources of fruits and vegetables? Like, is there a way to kind of categorize them? And there is. Basically, the darker a vegetable or fruit is, the better for you it's going to be. So you take something like iceberg lettuce versus red leaf lettuce. It's a little bit darker, so it's going to be a little better for you. There's other, you know, obviously it's more coarse, it's got more fiber, but the darker you go down to, you're starting to get into purple leaf kale versus regular kale is going to have more antioxidant potential than regular kale. So you could just kind of do that in your head and know that the closer down the spectrum you go, like for instance, you take green cabbage, nothing wrong with green cabbage, and you take purple cabbage, and purple cabbage is way healthier for you than green cabbage. So it's just kind of a rule of thumb. Also, the closer you get to the seed of a fruit, the better it is for you. So for instance, you take the blanket part of an apple. Apple seeds have a little bit of cyanide in them, so they're not really good to eat. But like strawberry seeds, raspberries, it's more concentrated. I'm destroying this part of it, but it's a more concentrated version of the seed, like all the seeds on a strawberry, and it's loaded with all this potential for growth, if you will, which is what makes it good for you. And if you think about it like this, so the reason that plants have so much antioxidant potential is because they're constantly in radiation. They get their energy from the sun. So they have to be able to bombard a credible amount of oxidative stress, which comes in the form of radiation. So plants are naturally way better at this than humans, animals in general. So that being said, if you take an apple, the reason when you cut an apple open and it oxidizes really quick on the inside is because the antioxidant potential of the skin is much stronger than the fruit, the inside of the fruit. That's why apple skin is so good for you. Potatoes the same way. Sweet potatoes, all these things, eat the skin. Like you can, unless you have like an allergy to poison ivy, you can eat the skin of mangoes. You can eat the skin of kiwis. And although I can't do the kiwi, it's had a weird texture for me. I can't do it. But always eat as much of the fruit as you possibly can in the best. Yeah. I mean, don't eat the outside of the coconut. That's not going to work for you. But also, like potent, anything that comes from out of the ground, seeds, nuts, walnuts, Brazilian nuts, fantastic. I mean, if you overeat Brazilian nuts, you can get too much selenium. Like, they are a powerhouse. Walnuts, a lot of the stuff that we just don't eat. You know, we eat peanuts, but again, you know, you have to start looking deeper. Flaxseed. You start looking into like superfruits, like goji berries, cacao powder, like the actual cocoa that they make chocolate bars out of, the actual powder itself, that is amazing for you, absolutely amazing. The other thing that is not talked about very much is there's this chart that lists like 3,800 foods, and it like the sad thing is the biggest antioxidant potential that Americans get is beer, which is crazy. And again, if you look at beer, the better antioxidant potential beers are the hoppier beers, because the hop is full of antioxidants. So your international pale ales, the bitter beers, are gonna be the healthier beers for you. So the one thing that people don't take into account, and one of the strongest antioxidants, is spices, herbs. One of the absolute strongest spices, and it's about 40 times stronger per weight than blueberries. Blueberries are a powerhouse, and it basically goes strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And about per weight, which, guys, you're not going to eat, a handful of cinnamon. Cinnamon is like, and cloves are just off the chain. So, but if you make your oatmeal and you throw some blueberries in it and you put a teaspoon of clove or a teaspoon of cinnamon in it, it makes it taste better. You can add less sugar, and you just doubled your antioxidant potential. You just made that meal so much healthier. A lot of the healthiest herbs and spices are turmeric, ginger, oregano, cinnamon, cloves. I'm forgetting a couple, but I'll put the link to this list down so you can get an idea of what you're eating, and then you can add things, So if you're gonna eat garbage, you can throw some garlic in it. You can throw these healthy foods in with it to help decrease the oxidative potential of the shitty foods that you're eating. So I think that was it. That was all I wanted to say. So just keep that in mind. I said in my original video, I try to do the 50-50 rule. So 50% of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. I mean, there's just no reason for it not to be. It's going to fill you up. It's going to add fiber. You're going to age less. And I'm becoming more aware of this as I turn 40 Sunday. So it just, your body will thank you. 100 times over. That's all I got. It's always awkward when I end these things because I don't really have this cool catchphrase like I did in the beginning. But that's it. Eat your vegetables.